welcome back to another Sunday reading vlog. It's already Thursday and this is the first time that I'm updating this week, so that should give you an idea of how this reading week is going, which is not well once again. Oh my god, I'm still just adjusting to being back at work and, going from laying in bed for several months to all of a sudden working 40 hours a week. So, I'm not home for 10 hours out of the day, so it doesn't leave me much time for reading, unfortunately. But for right now, I do have some more book mail to open up, and then I have a little book haul, and I do actually have a reading update, so I'll do that at the end. But for right now, I have another book depository package that just came in this morning, so let's crack her open. Ooh, okay. Nice. So I got The King of Crows by Libba Bray. I ordered this one and Before the Devil Breaks You at the same time. So I imagine that the other one will come probably tomorrow or the next day, like at some point this week at least. But I'm so excited. I just finished Layer of Dreams. I think last month I read it, maybe the month before. Time has no meaning, so who knows. But at some point this year I read Layer of Dreams, and it was really good, so I can't wait to get to the next one, and I've heard amazing things about this book. So there's this little book mail, and then on Sunday I think I did some book shopping, and I ended up going to 2 different places that sell used books. Oops. But my favorite used bookstore is open again, and I couldn't resist going in. And then in that same plaza there's also a Value Village, so I went there and I got couple of books. So the first 2 books that I got, they're both books where I already had the full series, but I had the first book in softcover and the rest of them in hardback, and it had been driving me up the freaking wall for years. But I didn't want to go buy it again and pay full price just to get a matching set, because I care, but I don't care that much. But I found both of them at my favorite used bookstore for like $10 each, so can't go wrong there. And those were Half Bad by Sally Green and The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Very happy with these. I can finally stop looking at my shelves and just be angry every time that I look at these 2 books on my shelves, so love that. At Value Village, I got lucky enough to find a hardcover of Illuminae files by Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. I didn't realize how large this book was. Holy shit, this is huge. Ooh, the end pages are nice. Ooh, that's really fun. Cool as hell. All right, love that. But anyways, so I've never read a book by Kristoff or Amy Kaufman for that matter. I did recently get Nevernight, and I am planning on reading that one first because I've heard the most about that series, so I want that to be like my first taste of Kristoff. So I am going to read that one first, but I'm very much looking forward to reading this. It sounds really, really cool. I remember when it first came out, I wasn't planning on reading it because at the time I was not into sci-fi at all. And then a few years passed and I was like, you know what? I like sci-fi now, and the format of the book sounds really cool, so I think I'm gonna give it a shot. And I just happened to find it for $6 at Value Village. Like, fuck yeah, I'll take that. Also at Value Village, I found this gigantic bind-up of the Chronicles of Narnia. It's huge. Oh my god. This is 766 pages, which I did not think this entire series was going to be that long, because it's a children's series, but apparently it's massive, so hell yeah. I mean, like, it makes sense, because it's like, what, 7 books or something, isn't it? Yeah, 7 books. So it makes sense for this to be that long. It just took me aback seeing this like giant ass copy of all of them together. So I'm not a huge fan of the cover. It's like the movie tie-in with the what's her name? The witch. I forget her name. But I've only read the first book from this, or debatably the first book. I've read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I read it as though it was the first book. I know there's debate about that. I don't really care. I read it earlier this year, so I'm glad to have a copy of all of them so I can finally get to them, because this series is part of my project that I've been doing for a few years, where I want to catch up on like all the children's and middle grade books that I never read as a kid. Basically, by reading as a kid, I read the Warriors series, and then I jumped right into YA, where I was definitely too young to be reading it. I was reading YA novels at like age 9 or 10, which the ones that I read probably shouldn't have been read that young, but like whatever. But yeah, anyway, so I missed all of these children's books because I just skipped right over the whole children's genre and went to older books. So I would like to catch up with those now. But yeah, very excited for this one. The one that I was most excited about, oh my god. I saw this book on the shelf and I almost screamed. I was not expecting to see it, and it was only $10.50, and that is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I have not read this book. I do own The Starless Sea, and I really, really want to read that one, but I wanted to read The Night Circus first to get to be able to see how her writing has changed over the however many years between the two books. I wanted to own this one as well in hardback to match The Starless Sea. So I hope I love this book. It's beautiful. I love the spine of it. And then the naked hardback is also gorgeous. I love it. And it has some really cool end pages, and like this copy is just beautiful. It does have some wear on it. Like the naked hardback is kind of dirty. I think there's paint on it, which like the fuck, but that's okay. I really don't mind. I hardly ever take off the dust jacket anyways, aside from when I'm reading it. Otherwise, it'll always be on there. So I am okay with it being a bit messed up. Can't wait to read this book. Okay, and then the last things that I got, and then I'll shut up about my book haul. I got the last 3 books in the Twilight Saga. I'm not going to hold this up the whole time because my arm already hurts, but here they are. I got New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn. I did also have the first book, which I don't have either, but it was in terrible condition, so I didn't want to buy that one. And I'm sure I'll be able to find a different copy of it that's in better condition at a different used bookstore at some point. It's not going to be a problem. But like many of us, I read and loved Twilight when I was like 12 years old. And then I got a bit older, like around 16, and I had this whole phase where I was like, I'm an adult. I'm all mature. I don't want this trash on my shelves. So I got rid of them, and then I got to like my 20s, and I was mad at myself for getting rid of it because like, yes, now I recognize that like this series is horribly written. It is not good literature, and it's also problematic. I totally recognize all that. That's why I bought them secondhand, so I'm not giving her more money. But I did want to have them on my shelves again just for nostalgia. And with a new book coming out soon, I did want to own these books again so that I can stop being mad at myself for throwing out all of my old books that I used to love. Like I used to have the entire Warrior series. Like there were like fucking 20 of those books, and I had all of them, and I got rid of them aside from the first one because I was like, I'm too old for this. It's children's book. And now I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong with me? Why did I do that? Oh, I'm so mad at myself. But regardless, I now own most of the Twilight books again. I'm not gonna bother getting the graphic novels and the other bullshit. I don't care about that. But I did want to own the original series again, and I will buy Midnight Sun whenever I happen to find it at a used bookstore. I don't want to pay for it when it comes out because I don't want to give her money. So, not doing that. But I will read it, and I'll own it whenever I happen to find it at a used bookstore one day. So, or a gift. I might get it for a gift. Who knows? But anyways, this is so heavy. So there's the stack. This is this week's haul. Do I have a problem? Yes, I do. I'm gonna put this down now. And then the reading update that I had. I'm currently reading Queen of Coin and Whispers by Helen Corcoran. It just came out some point this year. I think earlier this month it came out. So it's a very, very new release regardless. But so far so good. Right now, I'm not sure how far I am. I think I'm around page 100, 120, I don't know. I'm like a good chunk of the way through, but not like a crazy amount. Anyways, so far it's mostly just been like political intrigue, which is good. I do like that. This is what I wish The Winter Duke by something Bartlett was, because that one, I loved the world, but the main character, who was the queen or the duke, did not give a shit about her country's politics, but the world was amazing. Whereas in this one, I love how invested the queen is in the politics, but the world isn't that interesting. So like, I want the two to just flip-flop a little bit. Give me the world from The Winter Duke with the political intrigue and the queen giving a shit from Queen of Coin and Whispers. Like, that would be a perfect book for me. Also, both are gay, so like, fuck yeah. But anyways, but yeah, so it's good. I just wish that the world was a bit more interesting. As of right now, it's mostly just the politics, and the romance is starting to get somewhere, and I'm very excited about it. But there's really like no descriptions of like what the world looks like or anything. I have no picture in my head of where they are, basically. Which kind of sucks because the most important part of a story for me is the world. Some people are plot driven, some people are character driven. For me, it is 100% the world. So if I don't like the world, then I have a hard time getting into it, and that's the problem that I'm having right now. But it is good, so I'm gonna keep reading it, and hopefully we'll learn more about where they are at some point soon. But I'm glad that I'm finally reading something. If you watched last week's vlog, I DNF'd I think 4 books in a row. So we're in a slump right now, but it's fine. Anyways, I have been talking for 20 minutes straight, and I just got home from work. I haven't even had dinner yet, and I'm very hungry, so I am going to sign off for now, and I will catch you guys soon. Bye. Okay, so we've reached Sunday, which means it's time to wrap this up. I did manage to finish Queen of Coin and Whispers by Helen Corcoran last night. I gave it 3 stars. I did not really enjoy it, to be honest. I liked parts of it. The romance was great. I liked the friendships, and some of the characters were pretty well done. But that plot, man, oh boy, it was yikes. It was just really boring, to be honest. Like it was only political intrigue. That was it. Like that was the entire plot. There was an attempt at some other plots going on. It just wasn't really successful for me. Like there was a whole revenge plot that literally went nowhere. So it was just about the queen trying to navigate her first year of ruling while also falling in love, which like sounds good in theory, but in execution it was just so freaking boring. Like I had to force myself to read the last 60% of it last night, so like over 200 pages, I think, around there, because I knew that if I did not finish it last night, I was not going to pick it back up. I had no motivation to read it. I don't even know why I bothered finishing it, because like normally I would just DNF, and I, like, as I'm sure we've all gathered by now, I have no problems DNFing books. I do it probably too frequently. But for some reason I was just determined to finish this one, and I did, and I did not enjoy it. So like it wasn't bad. It wasn't the worst thing that I've ever read in my life. I did really, really enjoy the romance element, and the writing style was pretty good. It was just the plot. Oh, the plot was so boring. With that said, it is a debut novel, so I can't fault the author too much. And I do think that I'll keep reading books by this author. She is promising. I think that with time and experience, she'll get much better, but just this first one was not quite a miss, but definitely not a hit either. So, you know, take that as you will. But like, wow. I literally fell asleep reading this twice yesterday. 2 naps in one day because of this book. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, so that wraps it up for this week. I read 1 single book. Go me. I really need to figure out how to balance working 40 hours a week and also still having hobbies. So I also missed my upload on Wednesday because I just have not had the motivation to film. So I'm thinking that I'm either going to do some filming today, or I have Tuesday and Wednesday off. Wednesday is Canada Day, so everything's closed for the day. So I'm thinking I'm going to try to film at least 2 videos on Tuesday and hopefully 2 on Wednesday, and then I'm set for at least a couple of weeks. In case I have another week where I don't feel like filming, I'll at least have some like pre-filmed stuff that I can put out and not have to miss an upload. But anyway, sorry that this was another kind of boring vlog. 1 book, some book mail, and a book haul, and that's it. That's all she wrote for this week. I'm so sorry. One of these days I will get my reading mojo back, and I will be able to make more interesting vlogs where I talk about more than just 1 book. But this is not that week, so what can you do? Anyways, I'm gonna stop babbling. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all had a fantastic week, and I will catch you all soon. Bye. I'm gonna try to hold all these up, and this might go terribly. This is definitely going terribly. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. This is not gonna go well. Ah. Does this work? Oh god. Oh god.